Hello! Today we will be preparing the model to be used in SolidWorks. The first method used will be the construct menu and the creation of primitives, where the second approach will be to use the full mesh for references. First, we will navigate to the construction menu on the left side of the window. This menu allows for the creation of solid bodies based on the mesh geometry. Then, we will create a plane which represents the bottom mating surface of this water pump. Select the plane primitive and orient the model with the reference face easily visible. The Construct menu uses the same brush tool as erasing. You can select the brush size and the sensitivity for tangential selection. Select the parts of the mesh that will be used as a reference and click Fit Plane to add the primitive. Next, we will add cylindrical primitives to locate the bolt holes on this model. This process is exactly the same as fitting a plane, but make sure to also select a reference for the top of the cylinder. If textures have been applied to the model, it can be helpful to have the wireframe over texture view mode turn on. To export to SolidWorks, navigate to the File menu, click Export, and finally click to SolidWorks. SolidWorks will open, and a problem will immediately be noticeable. The model is not aligned with the origin or any one of the origin planes. After returning to Artec Studio, open the editor window and select Precise Positioning. The Precise Positioning tools are used to transform the model in order to align it with the origin. All the primitives can be used when exporting to CAD software, or they can be used as references for precise positioning. Primitives can be selected in the 3D model view or from the primitives list. After selecting the primitive, it can be aligned with the origin or any one of the 3 origin planes. Exporting the mesh back to SolidWorks shows the positioning changes we just made. We are now ready to create new geometry that references the primitives created earlier. Create a new sketch and hide the mesh, as well as any unneeded primitives. Using the Convert Entities tool, we are able to obtain reference geometry. As long as the mesh contains a small enough amount of polygons, we can directly import the mesh as a surface body in order to measure or reference any part of the model. Models that contain over 100,000 polygons will take a very long time to load in SolidWorks and usually won't be editable. Try to stick to around 20,000 polygons for a usable load on the system. Export the mesh and then open SolidWorks. First, navigate to the system settings by going to Tools, then Options. Select Import from the menu and the mesh file type. Make sure that Import As is set to surface or solid body. Now open the exported mesh. SolidWorks will take a minute to parse and load the model. If solid body mode was selected and failed to solve, this error will be shown and the model will be loaded as a surface body. Save the model and create an assembly with it. Creating a plane on the model will give us reference geometry to define a new in-place part. Creating a new part in the assembly and referencing the recently created plane, we can start to sketch the design, selecting features from the model to convert if needed. The next video will be focused on exporting the mesh to be used in Blender or other rendering software. The rest of this video will show the rest of the simple design process around this model in SolidWorks. Thanks!